Good afternoon, everybody. It's Chris Ogle here on the L4G South West Herts news show, the community news show. We do this every single week. We're a day late, part due to the fact that we could have the pleasure of Alex Murray's company. Come say hello, Alex.
Hi Chris, hi everyone, pleasure to be back.
Yeah, good stuff. How's your week been? I know you've been out on the first of your 2 weeks of legal work placement, as it were. Has it been a bit of a challenge for you?
Yeah, it's been really good. Mixture between being in court, just attending court, finding out how it works. Crown Court, for anyone who doesn't know, is you can't generally go into Crown Courts and watch. I was in the Old Bailey, then back in the office, just on the routine paperwork, really, because without it, these are the jobs that we need doing. We've all got the paperwork task, and it's not a pleasure. We all have to do paperwork tasks. It's not what we're getting to the job for, but it needs to be done. I'm sure you know about that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, good stuff. Well, good to have you here. I know you've been ferreting around for some news for us a bit later, so we'll be looking forward to hearing what you've picked up. I was just going to give a quick roundup of what's happened in the Link for Growth sort of camp this week. We had Cafe Loco on Monday. Cafe Loco, if you remember, is down on the Moore Park estate near Northwood. That was a really good turnout down there, actually, and Matthew, who owns the cafe, threw in some free cookies, actually, for us, which were really nice. So thanks very much for that, Matthew. So great turnout down there, really good event, and everybody getting quite a bit out of that. There's some really good conversations happening down there. On Tuesday, we were at Regis in Rickmansworth, and again, another really good, interesting event. There weren't that many of us down there, but I know Debbie King and Les Mead were having a long conversation, and Debbie wants to do quite a bit of video editing with regard to her bees and her beehive. She's got 20 of those dotted around that area. Excuse me. And Les is an ex-ITV video guy, cameraman and stuff, so he was showing her how to do some editing and join up the pieces of video. So she was really, really pleased with that, and Les was just chuffed that he could pass on the knowledge to somebody, to be honest. So that's the sort of thing that happens at our coffees. Really good. On Thursday, over at St Albans, second time of asking for that event, and that's with Danny Young. Not strictly in Southwest Herts, but until he gets his TV show up and running, we're featuring that on our show. So next month he's got two events, one at the Metro Bank on the 18th and one at the same place, the Beach House, on the 26th. And he's also got someone interested in hosting a Link for Drinks over there. So looking forward to hearing news of that as and when that happens. And
hold on a minute, Chris. We'll share some photos quickly. I should have jumped in.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, you were going to do that. Let's just hang on a minute. Let me just get you on white box. There you go. Off you go. Oh, that's a whole one of me, look.
Yeah, one of you looking halfway there. Oh, it was that big, was it?
Yeah, blimey. I need a haircut. Right. Yeah.
That's a sample of the people who are there.
Crowd there, yeah.
Really good. So, how many people roughly were there were, so we can get an idea?
About 25 people, I think. There. Paul Violet was also there, and 15 new faces, I think, turned up for this week's event, which was really good. A few arty pictures at the end there from Diane, actually, who very kindly came and did the photography there for us. So yeah, a really good event, and thanks, Diane, for that. So you're just spinning through them again there, yeah.
Yeah, just go back to start, just the ones we missed. But that's they're all in the L4G St Albans Community TV. Who doesn't want to go and have a look at them, tag themselves in it and stuff.
So actually, on Monday we're going to be going live with the Central Herts District website, and that means that we're going to be able to put all of those images into the right places, and you can and Danny's got a whole repository area there for building Central Herts, much in the same way as we're building Southwest Herts where we are. So thanks for sharing those with us, Alex. There's some really good ones there. I'm not quite sure about my particular ones, but hey ho. What I do know is I need a haircut. What else have we got from last week? Oh yeah, Nash Mills on Friday. Now, if you remember, we're working with the Waterways Experience there, which is a local charity that your dad works for, Alex. So thanks for that introduction. And we've basically, so far, we've had, I think, 3 coffees down there. A couple of them have been in the visitor centre, and then a couple of them have been on the boat. But a really good idea from, is it Sally, the marketing lady?
Yeah, Sally Ash, trustee, head of fundraising and marketing.
Right, okay. Well, Sally came up with a classic idea, which was, well, why don't we actually take the boat out on the canal up as far as B&Q and then turn around, because that's one of the nearest turning points, and then come back again. A trip of about 2 hours, 1 hour each way. And it gives everyone well, it's just a whole new different experience, basically, because you've got people there being able to taste. If they thought they might want to hire the boat, they can come down for a coffee and have a go on it, and see what it's about. But also, it's just a real different thing, isn't it? I mean, we haven't got anything on a boat anyway, like the one we've got there. But actually being able to go out on the boat during the coffee, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's where we've been on the boat once before as a family, and with Dad's birthday on there, and we're talking about doing it again this year. It's a way not only helping the charity and doing what we're doing, but finding out what they do by doing it. That's the easiest way. If you want to learn how to play football or ride a bike, you do it what you're doing. So if you want to find out what the charity does, you go on one of their trips, and you get a great crew. All the crew are a great laugh, and it's great. Again, some people might want to get involved with the locks and steering, or people want to sit inside, have tea and coffee. That's up to you.
Yeah, so actually, really, I think that's going to be really good. Now, the challenge is there's only 12 places, so we're going to have to be pretty diligent about managing that. We can put limits on the number of people that can book, of course, but I think it'll have to be first come, first served. So if we have 20 people book in, 12 will go out on the boat, and the other 8 will have to stay in the visitor centre. They have got a 35-man boat, haven't they, that we could actually use, provided they could get the crew to basically take it out for us.
Can't imagine crew will be a problem. I think there's plenty enough crew, and I know we'll get about 3 or 4 you need for that boat, and I'm sure we can get 3 or 4 of them to do it.
Okay, brilliant. Well, let's go for that then. I'm quite excited about that. Apart from
your email address, I would imagine she'll be in contact with you. I'd imagine.
Yeah, I've asked Sally to send me some information over about what she'd like to say about that, so that we don't say the wrong thing. So I'll probably get that this week, hopefully. Watford Three Rivers Trust big quiz on Wednesday evening. That was quite a raucous affair. But we raised. I mean, it was a really fun night. There was 10 of us on the table. We had a right laugh. But they raised well over £2,000, I believe, on the evening. So that was a great result. And I've actually put the list of table bookings on the Watford website. So if you want to know who was there, you can go on the website and see who supported that event. And of course, Link for Growth was there with our 10 people, and it was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a really good evening, as well as supporting the charity and getting to check out the facilities at the Coliseum. It's a great way of solidifying relationships. It takes a while to build up a relationship. You can't do it in the course of one night, but the more you go to these events, the more you solidify relationships and kind of get to know other people there. So we've already done that with the majority of it. It's the first time I really spent a long time with people like Marion and Marion's husband, I believe. Is it John?
Yeah.
So the more time you spend with people, the more you get to know them and their intricacies and all that malarkey.
Yeah, and I think a quiz also helps you understand a bit more about people as well, because you kind of get to know what they know and maybe a little bit about their life, because people know different things, and what comes up is, how the hell did you know that? Well, because and you get to know a bit more about them.
You can definitely work out what people's specialist subjects are, can't you, in these type of events?
Yeah, definitely. And that was a good fun night. We had a really busy week last week, and on Friday, which was last night, we had the Reason Cafe and Bookstore launch, which is 116 The Parade. Neil Emery is the main host there, as it were. And we had Rob Kelly from Thrive, the originator of the Thrive program, came along as well to support that, because Thrive, the coffee shop, the bookstore, evidential learning, community hub, link for growth, it's almost like a 3-4 way with Green Party as well, which is Neil's part of. It's like a 4-way sort of assembly point, really, where everybody's heading in the same direction. So it's really good, and that was a really good night. Ended up in chocolate for a few jars after that, the event in Reason. So well done, Neil. It's been a long journey, I know, but finally officially opened, and great crowd. And I think, I mean, I'll talk about that in a little bit later, but I think that's going to feature as a real hub centre. We've got nothing quite like it in Watford. So it's going to be really good, I think.
No, and it's a great idea of getting different people together with different ideas. So he was talking today about humanists and their ideas, and you've got the Greens, you've got what we're doing, you've got what Tanya and Rob Kelly are doing, the Thrive. You bring all these. It's almost a centre point place that kind of. There's a street in a bit of New York called, I think it's the 5 Points, where 5 roads come together. It's almost that in a building where you've got these 5 different things which are similar but have no real overlap really, apart from the initial collaborations, but coming together on one hub can strengthen it, because you're working together 5 things in one place rather than 5 things in 5 places.
Yeah, and I think as an example, it's a way of demonstrating very practically how collaboration can benefit everybody involved in that. If you like, Link for Growth is about bringing together people who are doing good work in the community. It's about recognising that if we carry on doing what we're doing, we're going to keep getting what we're getting, and we need to change. And that's where the Thrive program comes in. And then you've got the Greens and sustainability and living in harmony, and just a whole devolved responsibility, which is not that we're endorsing the Greens, but some of their principles and their messaging is very akin to what we're doing at Link for Growth. And then you've got like people like local food producers who were there last night, and just the whole idea of, and the books and evidence, and like giving people the opportunity to go in there and actually, because it's the only bookstore apart from Smith's, it's the only bookstore in Watford now. So you know, there's people donating books. There's just so much diversity in there. I think it's just really good, and actually Neil's getting used to making coffee as well now, which is a bonus.
Yeah, it definitely brings up both that was subsequent and another area to go and have a coffee if we didn't have enough already. You've got 4 or 5 now in Watford alone. You've got the market, obviously. You've got Ocean Bell at the bottom end of the high street, LP Cafe tucked around the corner. You can even go as far as West Herts into Casper. There's another couple in there. So you've got a lot of options now for a coffee in Watford, just from people in the area rather than the bigger chains.
What I like about what Neil's done is he's put a blackboard up in his coffee shop there with all the other independent coffee shops in Watford, which is a great idea. And like you say, there's a rhubarb one on Castleberry Estate. We've got a brand new one that's opened up in the
Park area.
Carpenter's Park area, that's right. And there's another one. You've got the one at Cafe Loco on Moore Park. So there's lots of little ones now, and raising their visibility is just great for local business. So really, really good idea, and well done. You know, it's fab. We've got a museum down at the Watford Museum. We've got a show down or an exhibition or something down at the Watford Museum today. What's that all about, Alex?
It's an art exhibition more than, it's just they've got a couple of local artists showing stuff. If anyone's interested, you have 13 minutes to make it to the Watford Museum, so you may have let this one slip. Trying to get all these things on the calendar as soon as we find out about them. It's just difficult when you're not seeing the information until a few days before to get people enough time, but hopefully once you start to build it and make people aware of what it is, they'll either start to doing it themselves, which would be great, or feeding it into one of the team who then can put it in 2 weeks before so people can plan it ahead.
Yeah, I mean, what Alex has just been mentioning there is the fact that we've got a community calendar. This is.
I'll share it if you want. Hold on, Chris. I can share it to people. Find out.
Okay. You're on.
Yeah, and if you want to. So we've got the calendar here, and if I can share the screen.
So basically what this community calendar is essentially the whole of the community contributing, because we can have numbers of, we can allocate the ability to update this calendar. We can provide that to many people. It gives us an opportunity to locally build a calendar which services the whole of the area, so that people can find out what's going on locally, find out more details, what's coming up this week. And the idea is, as we get all the people in the community that are putting something on, to basically either pass that information to somebody that can add that to the calendar for them, or alternatively we pass on the responsibility to people who are very involved and engaged in community activity, so that those people can support getting this up to date and making sure it's totally relevant. So Alex is just flicking through there, as you can see, sharing some of the things that are going on. There's different ways of looking at it. You can look at a day, you can look at a week, you can look at a month, you can go forward, you can go backwards. There's stuff on there now right up till June, July time. So please do check that out. That's a great example of where collectively we can supply the information that can be displayed in a public place that enables every single person to find out basically what's happening locally. So do get involved with that. It's really powerful, and basically it's going to help get more people to more events, which is exactly what people who are hosting events want to do. So come on, join in. All right, so that's fab. I've been out doing a few videos this week. I've done a video of Marion Matthews and her dragonfly quilting business. This is a business she runs in her garden. Well, not in her garden, but in in a workshop in the garden. And you don't know, there's so many really good people doing things in their houses, in their home offices, doing some amazing work, and it never gets exposed. No one ever sees them. But here was a great opportunity. It's a 7-minute video about quilting. Now, I didn't know anything about quilting, to be honest, but Marion told me a quilt is where you stitch 3 things together: a backing, a wadding, and a patchwork. That's a quilt. We all sleep in one most nights, but that's what a quilt is. And she makes them on a 14-foot table with this massive sewing machine thing, and it really is an amazing piece of art. But you'd think that, because she's a very humble lady, you'd think that she's just like stitching a few bits and pieces of material together in the front living room. When you go and see that video, it's just a whole different perspective. Did you watch it, Alex?
Not got around to watching it. It's on the list. I'll try and catch up with it. I didn't watch them in Sundays and kind of just see what you've done for that week. So there's that one as well, and there's a few others you want to talk about.
Yeah, so there's that one. I did one with Ian Topman, who was speaking on behalf of DENS, which is it's actually a decorum charity, a bit like New Hope Trust. They help people who are essentially sleeping rough or on the streets or homeless, which, to be honest, if you watch the video, it's, if anybody can just be 3 steps away from that position. So we really do need to act as a community to support those people, because it's not a choice. It's people who have fallen down on their luck and need a leg up again. So fantastic talking to Ian about what they were doing. And I also been around walking around in Rebel Pebble today, up near the parade. That's just down the road from Reason Coffee Shop, just actually opposite the pond. And that's a lovely shop with all sorts of local craftspeople supplying the goods and stuff in there. And I just had a wander around with the Google glasses on, which I'll post up later today. It just gives you a really good idea of what's in that shop. And you really ought to, if you're looking for a gift for anyone, you really ought to make that one of those destinations that you do visit, because it really has got loads of good stuff in it, hasn't it, Alex?
Yeah, it was a really interesting store. It's a gift store, and it's a kind of store that you have to know it's there, otherwise you can pass it by, and it's not going to be a place where you're going to walk past it necessarily. But it's got a lot of things where you think, I'll be perfect for person X or perfect for person Y. It's not mainstream at all, and you might go, you'll love it or you hate it. It'll be a bit like Marmite. And you'll see something in there and go, I'll get that for this because her birthday's coming up in 2 months' time. But it's not mainstream, and you won't see something straight away. But it might take a few times when stock gets rotated and then Joan brings in new people, you get something which is just right for that occasion rather than something that just the cap fits almost. It has to be something specific you're looking for.
Absolutely. So here's the idea, right? You go to Watford Market, go and put your stuff in the car at Gade Park, and then go up and have a coffee at either Reason Cafe or LP Cafe, listen to a bit of music at LP, read a bit of a book. On your way back, pop into Rebel Pebble and buy a gift. There you go. That's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, that sounds quite pleasant. Once the weather gets better, it'll be quite a pleasant day, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got well over 100 videos now in the TV. Do you want to just flash up the site again, Alex, and just show us how to get into the TV bit?
Okay, I will share the site now, and you can talk to people through it. So,
okay. So if you want to know where to watch these videos, you see what Alex has got there. He's pulled up the L4G website for Southwest Herts, and right in the middle of that orange strip, you can see it there. It says TV. Just click on that, and basically it takes you through. Now, all of these different videos you see here are listed in playlists. So if you look at the first one, it's local businesses. Second one's local charities. Third one's about the market and the people on there. Local politics, which we'll talk about in a bit. Then you've got these shows are all stuck in that community TV playlist, and then you've got stuff about Rickmansworth. So when we put stuff on about Croxley and all the others, it'll be there. And then you've got community interest companies. Now, the thing about community interest companies is that people who are running them want to know what other ones are in the area, and actually these are people who are running the business not for profit. The profits are being put back into the community for good projects. So Neil, for example, Reason Cafe, his profits he's using to basically fund people going through the Thrive program, so we can help make a difference in people's lives, basically. So that's fantastic. And then the last one is some sound bites, which we've got Alex's there, but we are going to be doing lots more of those. That's a chance for you to spend 20 minutes, half an hour talking about something you're passionate about. So if you fancy doing one of those and getting a bit more of an extended opportunity to talk about your business or your charity or whatever, then do ask us, and we can pop you on there as well. So thanks for that, Alex. That's a good run through there.
Before we go on with the screen sharing, is there anything else from the main website you will want the people to see?
No,
anything else you want to talk about this week from the website?
I think that'll be about it for now. I think well, let's just have a quick look. We've done the what's on. Oh, the other thing, just go to the end there, the workshops and training. If you're not quite sure about what you're doing with some of the things like Twitter, Hootsuite, LinkedIn, Google Plus, and all that, do click on that link, because we run lots of trainings, online trainings here, where all you need is a web browser and basically an internet connection. You know, we've got a Hootsuite one coming up this week. I think that's on Thursday, is it?
Yeah.
On Thursday. So yeah, we've got Google Plus the following week. We've got all the week after. They've got Pinterest training, Twitter. So if you're not quite sure about any of these social media platforms or whatever, and you want to get some basics under your belt, then please do go on there and book yourself in. They're all recorded, so you can watch them over and over again. So really good stuff, and do take advantage of that, because going forward you're going to need to be able to network both physically in the community like we've been doing today and at the events, but also you can carry on those conversations online, but only if you know how to use them. So do get yourself on there. We've got loads of videos to do. I've got a beautician in Carpenter's Park and that cafe. Michael Green Foundation, we've now got a video. Watford Women's Centre, we've now got a video. But I want to do the drum charity, the Watford Workshop, Homestar, New Hope Trust, Demand. There's loads of charities out there in Watford, about 500 small charities. I'm actually going to get the Urban Table Tennis Club. They've been selected for a very prestigious grant from the English Table Tennis Association. They're based in Watford, so that's a really good thing for them to have done. And I'm going to be interviewing Urban Gergely, who actually is like the guy that runs that, very shortly, hopefully next week. So if you know any charities and you want to help them get remove their cloak of invisibility, then please do put them forward. We love to do what we can for charities, and get their messages out there. So all good stuff. So on now, Alex, to the local news. So I'll kick this off with Sarah Jane Trabar. If you remember, I did an interview with Sarah. You can look at it through that TV channel that we've just shown you. She's posted an open letter to the Watford Observer this week about what they're doing in terms of saving the allotments down there behind the Vicarage Road football ground, and a very honest and open letter. You can read that through the Watford Observer website if you wish, or you can see Sarah's posted it on Facebook, and I think she's also put it in the Watford community. So do go and read that. It's a very current, hot topic. It's something that all the candidates in the election know about, understand. Some are in favour, some against, but go and watch the videos we've done on those interviews we've done with all the candidates as well, because they're quite interesting to run through. Curry night coming up, haven't we, Alex?
13th of March, curry night in the Langley Curry Club, just Gate House, just past, up near the market, that type of area. £14 a head, I believe it's all you can eat, so it should be a really good evening. All the details are on the link Eventbrite, or go on to, if you type in the Langley Curry Club, it will come up with all the details and what they've got there, and should be a really good evening. I believe it's 7:30 until about 9:30 we've got the table booked for.
How many spaces have we originally booked for?
I've booked for 15, and I'm sure we can extend it if we need to. There's only a couple booked in at the moment, so we've got plenty of space if curry's your thing, and paying £14.99 to get all you can eat of it.
Right. Well, I did mention it at the Watford Biz. I'm going to send an email around to those people because I've done some video work for them, and I'm going to mention that curry night because there was quite a bit of interest in coming along to that. So, good stuff. Down on the market today, having a walk round, talking to some people there. We're at an interesting stage with the market at the moment. The traders are due to send in whether they want to renew their stalls at the end of April, and it's true to say that actually quite a few of them are struggling down there, and they all received some letters today saying they're behind in their rent, which the bone of contention, so I understand, was if you remember, Alex, going back, the market was opened on the 7th, I think it was, of October last year, and it was passed to Town and Country a week and a bit later, and I think they're asking for the week in between to be paid. Now, my understanding is it was a bit of a building site at that time.
It was. We were both there. We've seen it, and we've taken pictures from the soft opening on the 5th, 6th of early October, and it was, things weren't finished. There was a hole in the roof, and there was a leak, and you couldn't call it finished at that stage.
Yeah. So the contention, I believe, because everybody's got a letter, and I know people who are running their stalls there aren't behind. So to send that out means that they're asking for that. It sounds like they're asking for that money. And I'm not. This is allegedly. This isn't something that I can absolutely state for sure. But I know that people have got that letter today or yesterday or whenever it was. So a lot of unhappy people down there today. And I've tweeted with Andrew Sparrow, who's one of the directors of Town and Country, to see if I can get to meet him this week, because there's quite a bit of stuff that's been happening down there, and we need to really move things forward. I know that there are things that, like the heating has been approved, and various other bits and pieces have been approved, but still a lot of work to go. Still a long way to go down there. Okay, so some other bits and pieces in the news. We've got, I showed you this last week. This is a double CD. If I open it up just to show you, it's a double CD. It's being sold at the LP Cafe, and it's not vinyl. It's not vinyl. It's a CD, but couple of the people who work in the LP Cafe are actually participated in on some of the tracks on this CD, and it's all in flavour. It's £5. You go up there and you buy them. I think Neil's going to be selling them in the Reason Cafe as well. And it's about Signpost. The charity is Signpost. Signpost is for young people and empowering young people, helping them cope with things and getting them up and running, as it were. So do support that. It's a fantastic charity. All the money goes to that charity. Do pop up there and buy. I haven't listened to it yet. I did mention it last week, but I said I would mention it for a few weeks. So do go up there and buy a copy of that. I don't know where else you can get it from, but I do know you can get it at the LP Cafe. So another thing I mentioned today, the Green Party, they've got till Tuesday to register their candidate. Now I understand they're putting forward 2 candidates, one for Watford and one for Hertsmere. We don't know who it is, but at this very moment in time, they're having a meeting at Neil's Cafe, Reason Cafe, deciding who it is or agreeing who it is. So hopefully, either later on today or tomorrow, we'll have the names of the people, and then I can plug them in, because that's the last final video I will be doing, and then we can move on to round 2. So that's quite interesting stuff. And have you got anything, Alex, on the news front?
Fair bit of news, both as news from the community and a bit of roundup from the calendar. So I'll try and, when I'm on, I'll try and bring a few things in from the calendar. So if you don't get a chance to look at it, I'll bring some on to you. A new community radio station is going to reopen in Bushy. It was running from, I believe it was Bushy Hall School from in the mid-90s. Silver FM. I don't know if you remember the name, Chris.
What's it called?
Silver FM.
Silver FM? No, I've never heard of it.
It's a community radio station similar to what we've got. You've got at Watford and Vibe, and I've now got in Bushy. It's opening for a week in Easter to kind of test it out, and about helping young people get experience in the kind of the radio game and being a kind of a community hub. So I've got in contact with them, and we'll see what's going on there and see what's what. Maybe see if we get a piece on there about what we're doing. So there's the development. If you want to put the, I don't know what you call the frequency, it's going to be 87.9 FM over the first week in April. I'll remind that again and put it in the calendar. Just the idea of it's a community radio station similar to what we've got in Vibe. So it'll be an interesting development.
Good one.
I don't know if you've heard of this foot golf, Chris. I don't know if you've heard of the sport called foot golf.
Football?
No, not football. Foot golf.
Foot golf?
Indeed.
No, I haven't heard of foot golf. Is this using your feet instead of a club?
Indeed. We've got the Watford's very own foot golf course opening up on the 9th of March.
What? I've never heard of that. Where is that? Is that just something you've dredged out of somewhere?
I got the account. My personal Twitter account was followed by the Twitter page for the foot golf club. There's one over in Rickmansworth, I believe. It's quite a growing sport. You play the whole 18 holes. It's going to be at Penfold Park Golf Club, which is along St Albans Road. I think it's past Palm. It's just around the Palmerton area, I believe. Haven't gone up there yet, but
well, I believe up near Palmerton. What you mean up near Leavesden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes about 2 hours to play the whole course, and they like people to go and golf retire, but you're playing with the football, so it's that mix of kind of the technical aspect of golf with rather than a club with your foot.
Well, that'll reduce the price, won't it? You won't have to be up by a load of clubs.
I believe there's both pay at the door memberships and you can buy a membership, and it's about 2 hours to play the whole course. And not only is it good fun, you try it once, and it's also a good bit of exercise. You've got 2 hours of football really, and walking around playing a bit of golf.
And how big are the balls?
Regular football size.
Oh, okay. So you are actually using a football, not a golf ball.
No, you're using a football, and then the holes will obviously accommodate a football rather than a golf ball. So take out the club and expand the balls in the hole, and you've got the sport.
Interesting stuff. I had never heard of foot golf, but you learn something every day. Up near Palmerton, that's quite close to where my mum lives, so I'll have to nip up there and take a look. When does that open?
9th of March it opens, so a week on Monday. So not this Monday, coming the Monday after.
Is that in the diet? Is that in our calendar?
Not yet. I only found out about it yesterday.
Right. Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Do
And
we
then a
know
few
who's
bits.
behind that?
It's a national organisation. There's lots of them. I believe there's one out in Rickmansworth area, and then they're popping up everywhere. Really, it's a new sport.
Next stop, Olympic sport, I guess.
Yeah, I mean golf will be an Olympic sport next year. Yeah, it will be next year now. So, and then a few other bits from the community calendar which we showed you earlier. Tuesday we've got the Watford Business Improvement District meeting, which is somewhere on the High Street. I haven't fully worked out where it is. I believe it's number 33, the High Street. So, not 100% sure where that is, but all the details are on the calendar. So it's the idea of getting a group of businesses Watford together, both big and small, to see how they can improve business-to-business communications and keeping sport local.
It's in some kind of church, I think, or some kind of religious place. I think it is.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
If you've got a business in Watford, that could be something to go along to and find out what they're actually talking about, and they've got plans going to be there, so that could be good. And if you're free on Tuesday night, there'll be a gig at the Horns pub, which is just passed up your way, in support of the charity drum. So I believe it's £5 to enter, and all that money goes to drum. And there's a local band who might be on that CD called the Spitfires, who are playing along there. That's kind of their launch gig in aid of drum. So that's an event for you on Tuesday night. But if Tuesday doesn't work for you and you fancy going and see some dresses and some fashion, Esmeralda's, what would you call it, boutique kind of store in Bushy Mill Lane is launching their new prom and dress collection, which is on Thursday.
Excellent. So we've got Tuesday, we've got music. On Thursday, we've got some kind of fashion stuff going on. Esmeralda's. That's Jemana Vonat. She is on the Google Plus community, the Watford community there, if you want to connect with her. And I've been down there and done a little video as well of her. So if you want to watch the video, you'll find that in the independent business area through the TV channel. So brilliant stuff. Okay, we got anything else there?
No, nothing else from me.
Okay. Well, I think you might have missed it. Last airing today of Remembrance, the Northern Ireland, I think, well, it's a Northern Ireland related play. It's at the Pump House in Rickmansworth. So if you haven't got tickets, tonight's the last performance, I understand. We've still got, what about this Chill Fest? When's that Chill Fest happening, Alex?
July time, up in Tring, I believe, and Catherine Baldwin is kind of organising it, and she found out the details. Her and Tanya Clark are kind of promoting it and kind of getting people together. And it sounds like it might be quite good. Billy Ocean and kind of other bands from a time before mine, or so. I won't put
the Blow Monkeys, I think, is going to be there as well, and some other. So it's basically Chill Fest or something. It's in Tring, quite close to that brewery that they've got out there, which is quite nice. And it's 2 days. It's Friday night, I think, and Saturday all day. So if the weather's good in July, we've got a little local. Well, it's a festival, I guess.
Yeah, it should be. Weather holds up. If not, we'll get the Max on and Wellies out, I guess.
Yeah, so if you fancy that, put it down your diary. We'll have more details on that as they come out, but that's looking quite good. There's a few other bits and pieces that have got to go on the calendar, but keep checking on the calendar. Everything's going on there. There's a couple of other bits I've got to mention. Hogwarts Express is on its way to Warner Brothers, apparently, coming soon. One of the previous shows that we did, Catherine Baldwin actually put the details of that on. So if you go into that, into the TV area, in the community, you might be able to pick up when that is. If not, we'll get it posted again. Camilla Choudhury did the free legal advice on the 7th and 8th of February, which was a great success. She actually got a mention in HuffPost UK, a blog or a piece in there about what she's doing. So that's good for her. Well done. Which we reshared a few times, I think, on Twitter.
Yeah, it's also got a bit more within the legal magazines and blogs and stuff. So it's really picked up, and I believe it's this Thursday, unless I'm wrong. I believe she's starting on Thursday mornings, alternate Thursday morning, a legal clinic there, But connect with her on Twitter and on Facebook. I'm sure she'll give you all the dates and stuff, and we'll get them in the calendar once we find out when they are. But it'll be every other Thursday morning. She'll be in Tesco where she was before, doing the legal clinic again.
Excellent. I mean that's we can definitely get that in the calendar every other week, so no problem there. Michael Green Foundation, their Eat Fit campaign over at St Albans at the end, just across the road from the end of the Abbey Flyer if you're going from Watford. So that's continuing. I don't know how many weeks it's been going for now, but we must be in the latter stages. It must be week 8 or 9, I would guess. You can go along any week. You don't have to book for the whole lot. You can go along and listen to the speakers and pay, I don't know, £6 or £7 I think for the evening. So that's going on. And the Michael Green Foundation have got a couple of people running for them. One running in the marathon, that's Jordan Silver, and Marek is running 50k in various events, all for the Michael Green Foundation. So well done to those guys for doing that. Just some other things that are happening a bit in the planning stages, just so you can see the kind of vibrancy of what's going on in the Watford community. We've got a wine tasting in the planning, which will be at the Reason Coffee Shop, a fish and chip night with bring your own drink, again at the Reason Shop. They're also forming links with the Humanitarian Society for Watford, and they're planning to have their meetings at that venue as well. So it's turning into, and the Greens are there today having their meeting there, so it's really turning into this, as we mentioned earlier, this real community hub. And if you have got something that you want to arrange on a fairly regular basis, do have a talk with Neil Emery there, who is the proprietor, and I'm sure if it's all for community stuff, he'll be very accommodating. So brilliant stuff there. What else? Oh, I've got no more news, no more other news, but next week we've got Link for Coffee in the Regis building on Clarendon Road on Wednesday. That's the 20. Hang on, I've got 24th down here. That's not right, is it? That'll be the 4th. That'll be the 4th of March. And then on Friday we've got the CSR luncheon at the Scottsbridge Mill just down the bottom of Scots Hill. That starts at noon. That's bringing businesses and charities together. Always a good thing. And I believe in the evening, or Friday evening, there might be a reconnaissance mission about sorting out a new drinks event in Bushy. Alex, what's that about?
Yeah, something Diane Richardson had come to you about and said, Bushy is an area, I live in Bushy, and it's kind of an area where we've got no presence really. We've got a lot of events in Watford. We're starting to grow Rickmansworth. We've got the event up in Nash Hills, which kind of covers Kings Langley, Abbots Langley, but nothing to the south of Watford, so Bushy or even Oxley. So it's an area we're looking to grow, and there's a few pubs we know, and in particular Three Candles, the line that sprung to mind, is going to be a good venue. And Friday night, maybe a reconnaissance mission and see what's what, and see if the guys there, Michael, can host us maybe for an evening sometime in March or April.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant. Just to let you know, we are building quite nicely in Rickmansworth now. Things are moving along quite nicely down there. Les Mead has picked up with a few other people that live in the area, Debbie King and Nish. I'm not going to try pronouncing his last name, but there's a few people. We'd like to get together with the Ricky Tweet Up crew and a few other people down there to really start to get to drive forward some of the initiatives that we're actually hosting in Watford down in the Ricky area as well. So please, if you know people who live in Ricky, do put them in touch with us. Same is true with Croxley and also Decorum, Hemel Hempstead. You know, we've got now with the boat ride that we were talking about earlier in the show, we can start to expand that out and talk to businesses about potentially having their functions on these boats, and really start to engage with the community. So if you know anybody in Decorum and they'd like to get involved in what we're doing in terms of community building, then please do get them to get in touch, because now's the time. We're starting, and we're going to do it in March, and whoever steps up, they'll be involved. So brilliant stuff. Last thing I want to mention is we've got the artwork design for L4G Buy Local hashtag. and also the Twitter handle, which is at L4G SW Herts. So if you're not following that Twitter, then please do go and do that. The concept here is to produce labels which are glued on the front and some which are glued on the back, and passing them out to all the businesses, independent traders in Watford, and getting them to display these in their window so that they're indicating their support for getting the people of Watford to buy from local independent traders. And we're getting these cards reproduced, and these cards, you see they've got all the different names of all the different towns there, and then on the flip side we've got, and I'll hold that up there, you see that website address there, http://bit.ly/L4G SW Herts. The website that Alex was showing you earlier is that website, and basically it's all about supporting local businesses and raising the profile of charities locally, and in doing so rebuilding community. So we get those cards, we're getting those cards reprinted. We'll have a few probably 1,000 or so. We'll be handing them out. We're going to take a stall on Watford Market at some point. We're going to be handing them out to people and getting people to realise that this is going on under their noses, and that there's so much good stuff happening in Watford and the surrounding areas. They just got to get involved, and I think that's going to be really good. And once we've got those printed, Alex, we're going to go down there and do a day down there on the market, aren't we?
Yeah, very much. And just in the spirit of marketing, what we talked earlier, we've missed out. I remember seeing, you saw this week, the market card, and I believe it starts Wednesday. The kind of, I'm not sure, I remember you plugged up, they were talking about supporting the market but getting a local card almost. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that's very true actually. They're talking about when trying to attract more people down to the market on Wednesday, Thursday. If you remember, the old market wasn't open on a Wednesday and Thursday, it was just Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. With the new market being open 5 days a week, what they want to try and do is encourage more people in there. So they're going to come out with a discount card for Wednesdays, which means if you go down there and buy stuff on a Wednesday, you'll save a bit of money. So that's something that they are putting in place, and I do believe it's starting imminently.
Yeah, I flagged up when we talk about the market, and unless you've got anything else down on your list, one more thing you've forgotten that we should flag up for next week.
Yep, absolutely. I think I'm just about done. Can you realise we're a sixth of the way through the year already?
Let's not do that. It's gone too fast. I can't believe it.
Where has January and February gone? Tomorrow, of course, is March, the end of the month. The clocks go forward, and we should be experiencing longer days and warmer days, which would be a great thing.
Yeah, and on the spirit of month ending and next month starting, Monday being the first Monday of the month, meaning it's the L4G Mingle, which you've forgotten to mention. Which
there's two things. L4G Mingle on Monday evening. If for everybody that's just started out using Twitter, or for those people that are using Twitter, great chance to practice and meet other people around the country who are in Link for Growth. Hashtag L4G Mingle, and follow that, and you'll be able to participate and join in with everybody else. And also tomorrow the newsletter should be going out for Southwest Herts, so watch out for that in your inbox tomorrow. It might end up in your spam as well, so do check it out. It will be going out tomorrow. If you don't get it, holler, let me know, and I'll make sure that we've got the right email address for you in the database. So that's it. I'm done. Say cheerio, Alex.
Well, it's goodbye from me.
Alex, goodbye from me, and we'll see you all bright and breezy 4 o'clock next Friday. Okay, thanks very much.